Then I'll talk about some rugby because the Springboks are playing tomorrow. Then we end off with the Women's World Cup.
Man, bongo muffins. I got Percy for the love of Kwaito Percy in Zambia.
We can start with that. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just mellow because it's Friday. Let me just get it in.
Perfect. Then we'll end with bongo muffin.
Hey,
what are we ending with?
We're ending with bongo muffin. That is
good. Perfect.
Okay, we will have a short meeting after this, nah? To just talk about where we're going to. Switch, if you switch it, we just play again.
Okay, cool.
We just getting the thing.
This is Pacing in Zambia, lack of Kwaito.
Yeah.
You are live, Msian.
Already?
Yeah. Dance for our fans, man.
Oh, for now?
Yeah.
Are we live?
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us once again. NNA Sports Show with Kofifi FM, coming to you live from the Kofifi FM studios. Here to cover the weekend that's ahead of us. Sporting weekend, we're looking forward. We've got some PSL, we've got some EPL, we've got some women's soccer. It's the Women's World Cup. So yeah, thank you so much. Thanks. We just he's the analyst, he's a football agent, you'll get to hear him. I'm sure you've met him already quite a few times. We are listening to Zambia in Chipa here.
No, we start officially now. The song is going.
Okay.
In 3 minutes we go out. We
Sharp. 3 minutes we're on, guys.
What one?
I'll put the one in it.
For now.
But still I know I just can't ignore. 'Cause it's no use letting conflict of this nature. Just can't let it up. Just can't take the pressure go.
I just want to go to the cabinet to make sure we're on.
Sharp.
I got something to celebrate. So listen, I'm going to see that you care.
Vamos a fazer esta
Hier komen die klemmers van sport.
Luister wat hierdie klewers van sport om te sê vandag.
Welcome to it, welcome to it, welcome to it. Kofifi FM 97.28 all began. Thank you so much once again for joining us for yet another one on a Friday. Chilled, easy vibes, just relaxing. You could hear with the song that we just played, Mzambia and Percy, the love of Kwaito. What a beautiful song, what a classic, Mzambia and Percy. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Everyone is asking themselves, what happened to Percy? Like, he just had this hit and another hit, and then he disappeared. Everyone is asking themselves, but what happened to Percy? We all know Zambia, here and there, he pops up once in 5 years, once in 2 years, Ashayi Classic, then he disappears again. But anyways, Kofifi FM, as I mentioned, where it all began, another hit, a classic. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for lending us for your ear. Another exciting show ahead. So much is happening this weekend. We've got the PSL to catch up on. We've got the EPL to catch up on. The Springboks are playing, preparing for the World Cup, which starts in September. Interesting times. And last but not least, we don't forget them. The whole month we've been them. The whole month they've kept us entertained. The Women's World Cup. Our ladies, it's your month, everything. We end off with you guys. Exciting show ahead. We are live. We are on NNA Sports Show. We are on Kofifi FM. Just a beautiful show ahead. As per usual, as per norm, I'm never alone. I'm always with the legend himself, Obra Joe, soccer agent, soccer analyst. I call him the encyclopedia. Obra Joe, how are you, my good sir?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good, Obra Joe. Are you excited? It's the weekend. We can rest. But you're probably running.
I'm actually very much in the Brenda Fassi mode. I'm my own weekend special.
No, it's allowed. It's that time of the week.
My own weekend special.
Plans for the weekend. Are you running? What's happening?
Yes, I'm running. I'm definitely running. I'm running in the mornings early. I have to run because that's a good way out.
But you challenge you, I say.
Yes, how to start your day. It's a good exercise for the body and also for the mind, and also to get you going. And we run and talk and we run and pray. That is what we do when we are basically running. So it's not just made a person run because you want to run. And all that. It's constructive. It's constructive. It's either an appointment with a friend that wants to let out, because you know we all are going through hell,
Of course.
on a day-to-day basis.
Of course.
Trust
of
me,
course, of
trust
course,
me,
of course, of
because
course.
this is not heaven. This is not heaven. We are only going to have soft times when he comes back.
Of course, of course.
When he comes back and fetch us, then the soft times is going to start. But now we must go to hell. It's
Of
hustle,
course.
it's problems, it's this,
Of
it's
course,
that,
of
it's
course.
that. So which means is we are using running to either, if I run alone, I run and talk to God. If I run with a friend, I run and I talk to him and I ask him for advice and I
course,
actually
of
empty
course.
up and say, you know, Sia made me cross, man. You know, and this and then I really wanted to choke him and
Yeah.
I'm not happy with him, you
Of
see.
course,
And then he
of
will say,
course.
no, man. What did Sia do? Then I said, no. He asked me the wrong question.
Yeah.
Then he will say, no, how stupid can you? Why do you want to choke him? Why didn't you give him the right answers on the wrong questions? You see, those are the type of things. But as I said, it's always good to do it. See, it's always good.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a great weekend of sport, and wonderful things are going to happen this coming weekend, and we are going to appetize ourselves for Monday.
Of
So
course.
that when we come back, we're going to digest everything out to our listeners.
No, I hear you. Well said, refreshing and everything. But Joe, let's get into it. As we speak right now, Cape Town City and SuperSport United currently warming up. Game kicks off at 7:30. Another one, Royal LM and Stellenbosch. Before we waste time, no manga business, let's get into it. SuperSport United are coming from a loss against Stellis, a game that I thought was boring and everything, but Bracho was like, no. That's not a boring game, it was a tactical game. Look at the tactics, appreciate the tactics. Never mind the flair, the Tamayas, leave that part. Just appreciate the tactics. Yes, you did say it was SuperSport and Stellis. SuperSport lost to Stellis 1-0. SuperSport have a chance to redeem themselves today against Cape Town City. Cape Town City will also come from a loss against Kaizer Chiefs. But Joe, I think that's a tough one. SuperSport, we saw also what they did during the preseason. Cape Town City also didn't do much during the preseason, but it's a continuation. How do you see that one panning out?
Steve is not happy with you because you're talking about the game that still need to be played and you don't even congratulate him on his win.
Speaking of that, Bracho, before we get into that was my first one. Like, let's first sort out you're right. I wanted us to talk about Brandon Truter and Steve Gombela, that goal. Before we get into tonight, you're right. That was my head starting point. Before we get
And
into...
Steve is listening to you.
As we speak.
As we speak, Steve is listening to you. He said, look what, they don't even celebrate me. I lost my captain, but I won a game.
Yeah. No, I wanted to start with that, Bracho. As we left on Wednesday, it was Skukune United and Soros playing, and we saw how it ended. I mean, on Tuesday, we saw it ended, the goal. What did you think of it? Was it a goal? Because that's the talking point.
You must understand the irony of Steve joining Morocco Swallows. And myself and you, because you're a very intelligent young boy, myself and you, we basically said that we're going to follow him. I brought him up precisely because we want to follow. We don't want to whisper in the deep. We want to focus on something that we think is going to work and which we said is going to work. Now let's go to that one. First game. You know what happened with the first game?
You mean with
Swallows.
Swallows? Yes. It was a draw.
It was a draw.
Yes.
Second game.
It was also a draw.
Remember they played.
Second game was you mean I thought you meant the league, or you mean
they lost
Oh yeah, they lost the second game, ne?
to Cape Town City.
Yes, you're right.
They lost.
Yes.
And then they just lost
against Sundowns.
Which they didn't, which they didn't. And against Sundowns, we didn't basically really see what we wanted to see because of the disadvantage. But they won that one for me,
According to how they played.
according to how they
Fair
played.
enough. Fair
And
enough.
now they went to Sekekune.
Yes.
Good game against Sundowns,
Mm-hmm.
bad one against Pirates,
Mm-hmm.
bad one against they lost again. They've got two losers
That's
and
Kukune.
one win. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
they
yes,
they
yes,
they
yes.
actually beat Stelis, ne?
They Kukune, yes.
They beat
These
Stelis.
big stays.
Okay, now back to Steve.
Okay.
Back to Steve. He played without one of his key players.
Captain.
The captain is a key player,
Very.
key position,
Mm-hmm.
and that position makes a difference in a game.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Now, what did myself and you say weeks ago? He's the type of person that can make a person that has got 40% in him
You said that, yes.
push himself to over 100.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what is basically happening with Morocco Swallows. Because remember, they scored first with Sekekune.
Yes.
They scored first in the 16th minute.
Yes.
And then Sekekune equalized.
Yes.
And then it was tight.
Mm.
And it was tight boxing until the end, where they came and they snatched it.
Yes.
They snatched it right at the end. So what I want to actually emphasize here is his ability. Forget football. Steve understands football. Steve played football at the highest level, and he was a very disciplined football player. He was a captain
Captain
of
of
the
Bafana,
national,
yeah, of
of
course.
the national
Captain
team.
Bafana.
He was basically also a very, very good player when he went to Turkey.
Mm.
He played there and he doubled up in Turkey. You know, he was a sports presenter also in Turkey.
In the Turkish language as well.
In the Turkish language,
Yeah,
you see.
yeah.
So it tells you a lot about the man.
Mm.
So what I want to tell our listeners now is basically that is the type of watchdog work that we're going to do. We're not going to come here with your 1-0s, 2-0s and all that. We're going to look realistically at the player's ability, what the player can do, at the coach's ability, what the coach can do, what are the coach capable of not doing, and those are the type of things that we go in. And all that I wanted to bring under your attention is basically that he is capable.
I agree with you. 100%.
2-1 losers, and basically a lose and a draw.
Mm.
A win and a draw.
Yes.
And one was basically in a cup, so which means he's got 3 games, 1-1-1. 1 win, 1 lose, 1 draw, and he lost in the cup.
Yes.
Against Swallow.
Yes,
Slightly
lost.
Sundowns.
Yeah.
Slightly lost, but that's basically what I wanted to bring under your attention.
I get you. Speaking of Steve, I wanted to ask you this again. As a person who knows and understands Steve, I think you've probably met him, you've observed him and everything. Did you see him losing his temper on the day?
I saw him lose his temper.
Out of character, ne?
Yeah, I saw him lose his temper a lot of times, and he basically worked on it. You know what Steve did? Steve did a strange thing. Steve lived with me in Calvin. You know Steve stays in Calvin.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Steve did a very strange thing. You know what helped him to basically stay calm and always be positive? The first thing is he loves life.
Definitely.
Second thing is he told himself that I am going to use my energies positively. I'm not going to use it negatively. And positively is that whenever I have an opportunity to change a life, I'm going to change a life. So that's why he became more how can I say, philosophical.
Okay.
Yeah, he became more philosophical, and he became more a person a motivational person. So he started motivating people a lot more. That's the direction that Steve basically went into.
I get it. I thought it was also out of character, but he's a human being, he's allowed to lose his mind.
No, and the third one, because I wanted to give you an opportunity to say something, is that he bought himself a motorbike, and there's nothing. I won't buy myself a motorbike, and I drive a motorbike, but most of the motorbike drivers say that it's relaxing. If you are, how can I say, really mentally clamped up, it's nice to get, and it's got a Harley.
Yeah.
You get onto your bike and you just drive. You just drive.
I get you. No, so to sum it all up as we are closing the issue now, was that a goal?
It was a goal.
Was it a goal?
Yeah.
Not a push.
What the
Steve, the 2-1 win, the final goal, the push, was it a push? I thought it was a push from Mango.
No, I won't say so.
I thought it was
you see,
a push.
You see, you have to understand that VAR have killed football. In many cases, VAR have killed football. I'm going to tell you why. Because first, when we used to play football, we didn't concentrate on small infringements. And now suddenly we are so focused on the wrong in football, not giving a space to other things in football. So we trying to, with VAR, straighten football so that every small push, it will be an appeal to go to the cameras, you see, and go and look, and that's not right.
I get you. So for you, that was, do you think it was a goal or not, Brajo? And the push was not a push from Mango.
I don't think, for me, we can basically, we must basically start looking at how goals are scored and what is done during goals are scored. If something dirty was done, then we could have understand that is really warrant a proper foul. But I think basically it was a push, but it doesn't warrant a proper foul.
Okay, fair enough. And referee decision is final. Because
Yes,
there's a ref.
yes.
Okay, anyways, I think it was a push. But anyways, we move.
A push can be a push, but did it warrant a foul in your instance?
Fair enough, because it was not an aggressive push. It was basically a touch that he overreacted. So, Bracho, as I said, so tonight it's Super Sport United Cape Town City. Tough game, I think.
Yeah, very tough game.
Tough game. Who do you think is nailing it?
I think it can go either way because both of them, we still connecting. I see there's a small problem here. I'm just getting the do you mind if we take a short break?
No, it's fine. Is there a technical problem?
Yeah, we're just going to talk to the technician.
Okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
so
Sorry about that.
this.
Seems like there's a technical problem.
Yeah, we will do this. Okay. I play the promo, so let's play the promo.
They will come back again. Perfect.
No, we
with a technical problem, but we're back again. As I was asking Brajo, it was on Super Sport United in Cape Town City. So you say it's going to be a tough one. I agree with you. Both teams, Kevin Hunt has done well. Unfortunately, he lost to Staleys. Cape Town City also have done well. Unfortunately, they also lost to Kaizer Chiefs.
To Kaizer Chiefs. So
yes,
so
yes.
and you must understand. There's one thing that you must understand, Sia, is that both of them lost.
Narrowly.
Yeah, and in vital games.
Yeah.
In vital games. So it was both of them are dumped out of the top 8. They are dumped out of the top 8. But you must understand that in the league, both of them are unbeaten.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, true. In fact, they are the form teams with Mamelodi Sundowns.
No, they're not. I'm lying. Steelers were beaten by Polokwane.
Oh, you're on the second game.
On the second
On
game,
the second
they were
game,
beaten
yes.
by Polokwane. So,
Yes.
so I'm lying. But it's two teams coming away from a weekend where things didn't work out for them.
But their league form has been good.
Yeah.
Both teams.
And you can see if you have watched the Kaizer Chiefs, I think you've watched it because you're a Kaizer Chiefs fan. The Kaizer
No,
Chiefs.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I don't support.
Okay. If you have watched the games, then you would have seen that both teams lost basically narrowly.
True.
You see, if you go to Super Sport, you will see it was just that goal.
It was even Stevens except for that goal.
Yes,
You're right.
yes.
It was even Stevens.
Yes, and then if you look at Cape Town City and Chiefs, it was also even Stevens.
Honestly.
And just that goal.
A late goal.
Just that goal. With Cape Town City for most of the game having the advantage.
True. And they had them.
And they had them.
And they really had
yes,
them.
they had them. You
They
see,
had them.
they had them until the equalizer, where Kaizer Chiefs began to build after the equalizer. You see, so that is basically the situation. So yeah, so and also you must understand, it is two teams that are basically playing Route 1.
Definitely, yes.
You see, they are playing Route 1 or
Cape Town City will not take
semi.
Yeah.
But Gavin is for hard to
Of
one.
course.
You see, so we're going to see what is going to happen.
Of course. Then you also have Royal AM and Stellenbosch also playing today at 7:30. That's another one. And then tomorrow we have the game that I wanted to talk about is Royal AM and Amazulu KZN Derby. Another interesting one. Royal AM and Amazulu KZN Derby. I mean the Rich Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Amazulu and Richards Bay tomorrow. KZN Derby.
So it's because Royal AM is playing against Steelers.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean
so it's Amazulu
Bay
against the Rich
and the Rich Boys and Amazulu. Yes, KZN
Yeah, but
Derby.
you must look at if you look at Amazulu's unbeaten at the moment.
Another part with many draws as well.
Yeah, Amazulu's unbeaten, and Royal AM have not come to the party at all this season. This season they've not come to the party, but anything can happen in football.
True.
But they've not come to the party, and it's going to be a wait and see. Because Amazulu also with their fresh legs, and they've also got
A new coach. Yes.
and they've got new young players, and there's a whole lot of technical changes that was made basically to the technical stuff. So yeah, so it's going to be something totally refreshing that is going to happen there, because you're going to have somebody that must still master the skill that is doing them good but not so good because they've been drawing. So they must still master that. And then you have somebody that is coming from nothing, that they have to show that, hey, look, we are not dead and buried. We might have a slow start, but we can put our hands up anytime and do what is need to be done to change things around. Because remember, the Rich Boys had a good start last time.
By this time they were number one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. But
So they've tasted number one already.
yeah. But just speaking of the rich boys, I want to ask you this question. Is Caetano Tembo a good coach? Why I'm asking you this, I know him as a player at Supersport United, did very well. I know he was an assistant at Supersport, did very well. But they gave him Supersport, didn't do much. He was fired. Went to Polokwane City, won the first 2 games. Then he drew the rest. He was fired. Now he's at the Rich Boys. Is Caetano Tembo a good coach according to your understanding?
No.
I agree. Okay, cool,
No.
cool.
No, he's not a good coach. He's a good assistant.
He's a good assistant.
He's a good assistant.
Yes.
He's a good assistant. You get some coaches that are really forcing themselves to be what they are not. You see, so I basically think that it was good for Supersport to give him an opportunity.
Yeah.
And
I
at
agree.
Supersport he didn't do much because they had a formidable structure that was left behind by Kevin Hunt and also by Kevin Johnson. Remember,
Definitely.
Kevin didn't not do well at Supersport. So there was a good structure that was left behind by those two guys. And for Caetano Tembo to come in and to carry on was good because he also had the support. But you can have all the support and whatever they give you, and he also had players that were hungry and they wanted to prove a point, but he wasn't the right coach because he didn't have the ability to take a 80% to 120%, and he doesn't have the ability to take a 30% to 80%. So he doesn't have that ability. He needs to be with somebody that will tell him, okay, Caetano, this 30%, this is the program that I'm going to put him under, supervising.
I get you. Well said, well explained. And to close off the games tomorrow at 8 o'clock, it's Chippa United versus Melody Sundowns. We all know Morgan Mamila, the Chippa United coach. The media says he speaks a lot. I think I'd agree with them. I mean, he was saying the other day, there's no difference between Sundowns and... No, he first said there's no difference between Pirates and Chippa United. They are on the same page. They are equal. Then he went on to say you can bring Sundowns anytime. I'll hammer them anytime. Against Kaizer Chiefs, he also said that the better team was Chippa United. Kaizer Chiefs was unlucky. So how do you think that game will fare, knowing Morgan Mamila? I think by doing so, he also adds confidence to his players as well, you know? Do you think he speaks a lot, he overdoes it, he should just focus on coaching and leave the speaking? I don't know. What do you think of his statements and Morgan Mamila as a coach?
You know, sometimes you get an opportunity to start somewhere. And to be able to start somewhere, you must basically be humble to understand that you've done nothing. And you must take that nothing that you've done and do something. And yes, he did a good thing when they fired Dane.
Yeah, I remember he took over.
And he took over.
Won the 4 games in a row.
Yeah, yes, but you must also understand that Dane came in and he built. He actually had to build where where Kurt basically couldn't. So he came and he built it a little bit, and he was in the process of nearly getting there, but because of the impatience
of Chippa,
yeah, he lost his job. You must just ask yourself, did Dane do not well? Dane did well.
Of course, even beat Pirates whilst he was in it.
Dane did well, but he needed time. And Chippa is a very impatient guy.
Definitely.
And you can see where he's impatient because Kevin Hunt is not a fly-by-night coach.
No, definitely. Yeah.
Kevin Hunt is not a fly-by-night coach. And what he did basically, he fired Kevin Hunt. Because Kevin Hunt was actually building and trying to get Chippa where he wanted Chippa to be going forward.
Yes.
But he was impatient. So he is very lucky because He always comes in after people have failed. And you know, after people have failed, obviously Chipa comes in, start threatening the boys and say that, yeah, you're going to lose your jobs and all that, and when we get relegated, I'm going to get rid of the whole team. I'll take youngsters and I'll play youngsters. So obviously you play to keep your job,
Of course.
and also the favors that they get every year from Orlando Pirates, but Orlando Pirates always overbuys
Yes.
and give them
Just like this season.
give them their players. But it doesn't happen in the middle of the season. It always happens towards the end of the season. And now he had an opportunity to have the luxury that was Orlando Pirates, that Orlando Pirates coach couldn't use properly, and he got them now there, because who's making the difference now? It's Orlando Pirates players. Look at that team.
We were watching the other day.
Yes.
Yeah, they have good Musele,
Yeah.
Craig Martins.
Yeah.
There's a guy on loan now. Yeah, but it's a whole lot of Orlando Pirates players.
Yeah, so you look at that now, and that's what I'm saying. You must not overplay your ability, and he's overplaying his ability.
I get you.
And he must know that what is his name? The coach. Football will kill you.
Not
The Morocco
Mphahlele.
coach.
Yeah, I know him. Not Mphahlele, not Matsimela. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Football will kill you. I'll remember him now. Yes.
You see?
Tobejani.
Tobejani.
Yeah.
So he must just understand, and he must understand that he was fired.
True.
He was fired because he had no luck,
True.
and he was re-employed only because Chipa was desperate
I get
and he
you.
doesn't want to pay. Because he actually did a very expensive exercise with Kevin, and because Kevin is not cheap.
Yeah.
You see,
Kevin doesn't
so
come
he doesn't want to pay. And Chipa, you see the reason also why Kevin didn't last, because Chipa himself is also a coach.
So Chipa knows football, eh?
No, he's a chairman coach. You know why do I say he's also a coach? He's also have a big mouth. For him, he understands football. You understand? He doesn't understand that there's not one. Trust me. There's only one chairman. There's not one chairman. I'm gonna tell you the chairmans that I basically in the PSL that understands football is basically Kaiser and John Comitas. John Comitas is basically one of it, because John played at the highest level. Kaiser played at the highest level. Who other of them that are chairmen of teams played at the highest level? No other team, no other ones. They are just businessmen. If you look at the 16, you will see who else did play. John played at the highest level. John understands. That's why John.
Who did John play for?
John Butts.
Is it?
Yeah,
So
John
was a Vinci.
No, John was at Butts.
Which position?
I think John was a midfielder. I'm not sure, but he was at Wits.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, John was
Makes
at Wits. John Comitas was at Wits.
Ah.
That's why you see him and Eric can gel so nicely. Yeah. I think in the Eric era, John played at Wits, because John was actually playing semi-pro when one of my best friends was playing professionally for Wits, Percy Wright. He's from Alexander. He basically played, and John was playing in the reserve team, and Percy was already playing professional.
Is that during the Peter Gordon's time and the Steve Crowley's, or before or after that?
Yeah, it's during the time where Wits was still called Wits University. Remember they were called Wits University?
Very well. But when I started watching them, it's when they
it was basically when the NFL merged with the NPSL.
The NSL.
NFL. National Football League. It was a white
Oh,
league.
before.
It was a white league
yes.
where you had the Highlands Parks and the Lusitanos and the Jefferson Kellys and the Rangers.
Yes. Oh, interesting times those times, eh?
Yeah, interesting times.
times.
So John was actually playing playing for Wits, yeah. So John played at the highest level. Kaiser played at the highest level. That's about all that I
I'm trying to
basically-
think as well. I can't
Yeah.
think of. Yeah.
It's only coaches but not chairmen of teams, but
Yes,
coaches
yes,
you
yes,
can know,
yes,
like
yes.
Stevie Barker
I know Stevie Barker. Stevie Barker played for Vets. That I remember.
Yeah, Stevie Barker.
Yeah,
Stevie
yeah,
Barker
yeah.
played for Wits. Very, very top class defender. With an attitude and with the presence on the field. It was Stevie Barker. Yeah. So they are they are the only two, Kaiser and John.
I get
They
it.
are the
I get
only
it.
two because Dr. Koza didn't actually play at the highest
Yeah.
level. He was more a administrator.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
of the best administrators that you can ever get. You understand?
Wow.
Because remember before during the time of 60 and all at Orlando Pirates, he
Yes,
was
the secretary.
He was a secretary,
Which was equivalent
Yeah,
to today, the administrator today. right?
yeah.
No, but Joe, before we get carried away, let's take a break so we can come back. When we come back, we're going to complete with Kaiser Chiefs who are playing TS Galaxy on Sunday and Orlando Pirates who are playing Jabal from Camaros as well. But Joe, let's take a break. We'll be back with a bang. Yeah, it's 47 already.
Be informed on what is important to you. Kofifi Sport with the latest and up-to-date Kofifi Sport info. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6 to 7. Kofifi Sport. Be informed on what is important to you. Kofifi Sport.
I don't believe in goal-line technology. I believe that the referees must make mistakes to make the game very, very exciting. And now everybody is talking about the lack of immediate tutorial gimmick.
Kofifi Sport with the latest and up-to-date Kofifi Sport info. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 6 to 7. Kofifi Sport.
Are you or your child on ARVs? Do you know your viral load?
When we
A
play AIDS,
viral
do you
load
pause?
test measures the amount of HIV in your body.
Thank you so much for not touching that dial. We are back again. Kofifi FM 97.2. It all began. Thank you so much for staying with us at Kofifi Sports. Brajo is here. Sia Dumisa Madi is here. We continue having the sports talk. I think an hour is not enough. We continue talking and talking. Brajo is so passionate. I'm passionate, I know. Brajo, moving right along to close the PSL wrap up for the weekend. We have Kaiser Chiefs and TS Galaxy at Mbombela Stadium. That fixture brings back memories. We all know the first time they played was in the Nedbank Cup when Lupasa scored the penalty. To this day, it's been a grudge game. It's never changed. This Sunday they meet again at Mbombela Stadium. TS Galaxy, very easy. They don't concede easily. I think their coach has gotten the defensive side proper. Chiefs also hardly scores goals. How do you see it going, my good sir?
I watched how TX Galaxy is basically starting their games. And I was totally amazed, and it's good that they're playing against Kaizer Chiefs.
Yes,
You just see, you just see Tim walking in front,
Yeah.
and then he plays the drum.
Yeah.
And then he
Hit him with the fence.
then he goes and he plays the drum and then he sings and he leads the guys. I just thought, hey, this is the first time in the history of the PSL that the chairman is doing that.
True.
Chairmans are very, very
Reserved?
chairmanish.
Chairmanish.
They are very chairmanish.
Protocol
They will go separately maybe to the dressing room and
Yes.
motivate the players and come and sit in the suite.
Yes.
Then you will basically see them.
Yes.
You won't see them like it. And then the guys follow him. And I like the rhythm, and they go on. And I like that. And that's something good.
True.
That is something good.
different as well.
Something different
Yes.
as well. To say that I'm going to war with you.
Of course.
You see?
Of
And
course.
that is a good thing.
Of course.
Good start of the season for TS Galaxy.
Yes.
Good start of the season.
Yes.
And still unbeaten.
Still unbeaten.
And it's going to be something very, very interesting to see because they always make sure that they teach Chiefs a lesson.
It's always a tough one.
It's always a
It's
tough
always
one.
always a
And they always make sure that they come out with something. So they're not going to allow Kaizer Chiefs unless we're going to have a situation where, because I can't understand it, and I'm saying this with the greatest of respect, and I'm saying this also with the greatest of care for my friend that is now the coach of Kaizer Chiefs, is that, did you see how the press went to the party, to the party after the win against Cape Town City? And what was there really to go to party for?
Because they're not used to winning, Pracho.
Yeah, they're not used to
So they
winning. It
celebrate
was the
that.
first win. It was the first win, and it
Yes.
wasn't even convincing.
It was a lucky. It could have gone either
Yeah,
way, as
it
we
could
said
have
on
went either
Monday.
way, you
But they
understand?
celebrate
It
that.
was smash and grab. you
Yeah.
understand? But the reports wasn't smash and grabs, and now they were talking. Trust me, I saw more during the start of the season in Ashley Dupree than in Castillo. And they were talking about him, and it was just write-ups about him, but Ashley was doing more than him. And Ashley was scoring the goals. It was Ashley's second goal.
And taking nothing away from Castillo, his quality, yes, I've seen, but Ashley has done more, as you were saying.
Yeah.
But now he's got that goal. Now it's all praises, like he's arrived, and I
Yes.
think he's still got more to prove.
It's actually proved nothing.
Yeah. He's got
You
more
see,
to prove.
We can at least say, hey, you guys did something to Ashley. Because you can see now Ashley is so back to how he was at Stellis
Yes.
before they bought him. He's again in that frame of mind. But now it was all. But as I said, it's again basically a situation where the person or the coach that is going to stick to his plan is definitely going to win. And the TS Galaxy coach, you will see him. He sticks to his plan. Win or lose.
Always.
He sticks to his
Very
plan.
compact at the back.
Yeah,
Not easy to score against them.
Yes, you see, so he's going to basically stick to his plan, and we will see how Chiefs is basically going to answer, because they have at the moment no plan, because we didn't see a plan in their play.
Of course.
We could have said, yeah, okay, with Kaizer Chiefs, they are unfortunate. They are the only difference that you basically see in the Kaizer Chiefs team is basically, trust me, the never say die spirit of Fosler.
Oh, Fosler is amazing
Yes.
this season, hey?
And the energetic Ashley that they found himself.
True.
That's what you see at Kaizer Chiefs.
Or the Omni Life Wires.
That's what you see at Kaizer Chiefs. Yeah, Yusuf Maat is here and there, and the other players is here and there, and they
But the
but we
players,
want to
you're
see
right.
something different. We want to see
Yeah.
something. We want to see something different. We don't want to see you play. We want to see you doing something different. That was what Foster is doing, and that was this
course.
Ashley is doing something different.
Yes. So, Brajone, there's a team in South Africa. This team is the first team to ever win the CAF Champions League. This team is a team that has taken the CAF Champions League very serious over the years. This team, I know for a fact that chairman himself wants to win the second star before he retires. I know that for a fact. He's bought players, he's been attempting the past 10 years. When Erasmus came to Paris the first time, he gave him the jersey number 95. The reason he gave him the jersey number 95, he says that I want you to help the team emulate the class of 95. The chairman loves this trophy. This year, they have another chance, they're going to Africa. I wouldn't say second chance, but another chance to go and compete. The chairman has bought players, like every season, always buys good players and everything. This year, they start their campaign, they are coming back again to compete. So do you think this year is the year where we will see a second star being added before we lose Sundowns as a star? Because even before Sundowns went to Africa, I remember Eric Tinkler used to coach Pirates. Peter Msimane went to Eric Tinkler and said, Eric, what did you do for you to get to the finals? Peter even said that if you want to know how to do in Africa, ask this team. They are leading. So do you think this is a season where we'll see Pirates do it in Africa as they begin their campaign tomorrow against Jabal, a team from the Camaros, a team that they hammered 9-8 years back when they played against them? They'll probably go through to the next round. But all in all this season, do you think they'll do it in Africa? They'll come with a second star?
No. They
They're
won't
not
come
ready.
through with the second star. Because you know why do I say they won't come through with the second star?
Yes,
What
sir.
made them what made them get the first star? And what made Pizzo get the first star?
Hunger?
One, hunger.
Yes.
And the second thing is that you need a predator. Who's winning African games for Sundowns?
Shabile.
Thank
I
you.
don't think about it. Just like this, I say it. I don't
Now,
think. Ask me.
Is there somebody? Is there somebody that can box with big defenders that they have in Africa?
No.
In Pirates team,
Not at the
you want to
moment.
put Lipasa there?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. They need a big and who basically won the star for Orlando
Jerry
Pirates?
Skosana,
Thank you.
a prolific striker.
Yes,
He just
and what-
been scoring.
And what made Jerry one of the most prolific strikers here in the country? He was intimidative.
And
He was aggressive.
Yeah.
And that's what Peters was. He was a predator. He had a box presence. They don't have a box presence striker. They had Jerry. You understand? They didn't even have a smart coach at one. They won it with Mkandawiri.
And after Joe Middleton resigned,
Yes,
I remember
yes,
Joe
yeah,
Middleton
yeah,
resigned
yes,
after they played 2
Yes,
chances. Like,
yes.
I'm not going there.
Yes. They won it with
Mkandawiri, the late
They won it
Mkandawiri.
and Jerry Skosana
Yes.
goal. And Chiefs struggled to basically beat Orlando Pirates when Jerry was still there.
I know.
And Metro Blitz, because it's strikers with the presence. It's strikers with
Yo,
the presence.
Bracho, you know Metro Blitz?
Yeah. So
Wow, Manjas Chole.
I still see him.
Manjas Chole.
Yeah, I still see him.
Wow.
He's a friend of Graham Johnson. He's always with Graham Johnson.
'Cause they play together.
together.
Makes
so he's
sense.
always with Graham Johnson. So I see him. I see him. So that is basically the difference, and that will always help you. You need a striker with a presence, and currently there's not somebody big that can intimidate African strikers and that can basically score and from each and every angle that they've got. And Shalulile can do that.
He's
and
big.
Jerry Skosanas could
do it.
Could have
So
done
Zakani
that.
Lubasa, I mean, he scored in the past 2 games. He's been doing well. Don't you think he's going to have a big season? Don't you think he's got those qualities to make them win the AFCON?
No, you cannot
Champions
take
League, I mean.
cannot take South African football and compare to the African Champions League, because South African football is not always what special did we see since the start of the season? Nothing special.
Yeah.
Trust me. What special did you see?
Honestly.
There's nothing special that you see. You see Orlando Pirates scoring 5 goals against Sekekune and going again and draw a cheaper. You understand what I'm saying? So there's no consistency. There's no consistency. You didn't see something really that is really consistent. Nobody was very consistent, because you see a super sport that goes all out, win their 2 games, and then they come and lose against Stellies that have sold their best players, and that is in the rebuilding process with with the young players. You see,
Yeah.
so the only consistency, and that you cannot actually take as consistency. See, you can say paid consistency. Sundowns.
Paid consistency, well said. Paid consistency. But Joe, as per normal, we got carried away. We couldn't even cover the EPL. We couldn't even cover the Women's World Cup. We just get in, especially when we talk about football, just to give an update. Tonight, another game in the EPL. It's Nottingham Forest against Sheffield United. That game starts today at 20:45. Tomorrow, we have Liverpool playing against Bournemouth. Wolverhampton plays Brighton. The games are both kicking off at 4 o'clock. Fulham, Brentford, Tottenham, Man United. That's going to be a beautiful, beautiful game. Tottenham, Manchester United. As a Man United fan.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. A good game, because I believe that irrespective of Manchester United's 3rd place finish, they not basically there where they are supposed to be, because we actually saw the start of the season game against Wolves, and you have a Tottenham team that is basically hungry, and they are rebuilding, and we're going to see actually 2 things in the game. Are Manchester United capable of showing that they can do something good in the Champions League by going very far? And can they put their hands up and say that without any difficulty, we're going to contest against Arsenal and Man City for the league? Because they didn't do it last season. So which means it's an opportunity. So it's it's basically a wait and see game. And Tottenham is a good tester to see that.
Of course. I'm not gonna. I have a follow-up question, but I will not ask it. Moving right along, we have Newcastle and Man City at 9 o'clock again tomorrow. Another one. Man City, Newcastle United, 9 o'clock tomorrow.
I think that Newcastle have got the ability to beat Man City.
I agree with you.
They've got the ability to.
Man City can win, but to be honest,
they've got the ability. They've got the
100%.
ability.
I'm also my
Because I watched their first game,
Of course.
and they've got the ability. Man United on
Man
most
City.
occasions, Man United
Yes.
on most occasions beat Man City when they didn't have the ability.
True.
But Newcastle have got the clear ability to basically beat Man City.
True.
So it's going to be a very, very tough one. It's not going to be easy, and it's also going to be a Champions League tester for Newcastle to see.
Are they ready? Wait, just to gauge them.
Just to gauge them and
Yes,
see
yes.
how we basically
Where they are.
ready.
Yes,
are we basically
yes,
ready?
yes. Then on Sunday, we close off with Aston Villa and the Toffees Everton at 3 o'clock. Game of the weekend. It's a London derby. West Ham versus Chelsea. People don't know that West Ham and Chelsea is actually a London derby. They think it's just an easy game. It is not an easy game. London derbies are never easy. Hence, it's the game of the weekend. Sunday, 5:30, West Ham and Chelsea. London derby.
If you looked at West Ham's first game, they basically play the draw,
Yes.
and you can see there's flashes of the brilliance that won them the UEFA Conference Cup.
Yes.
So they're going to have a very, very good game against Chelsea. But you must also understand they're playing against somebody that have played against them in the past and that always had the upper hand.
Because it's a derby.
No, but they're playing against a coach that always had the
Oh, you
upper
mean the
hand.
coach? Yes.
You see?
Okay.
And that's Pochettino.
Pochettino, yes.
He always had the upper hand against West Ham when he was still the coach of Tottenham.
Yes.
You see?
But another derby as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
you see.
Another derby.
So that is basically the good thing. But if you can take the same form of West Ham that won them the cup, take it to the game,
Then they should.
Then they can easily, convincingly win or actually get a draw out of it. But I'm raising my hand as a Chelsea win.
And then, Brajo, last but not least, we made a commitment for the whole of the month. It's the Women's Month. We don't forget them. We always close with them. The FIFA Women's World Cup comes to an end this weekend. After today, we close it. We'll only come back on Monday to recap on it. The final, the stage has been set. It's the Spaniards against the English. Sunday at 12 o'clock. But before we get into it, there's also the third place playoff where we have Sweden and the Aussies. You've been a big fan of the Swedes. I've heard you speak about them. You adore them. You appreciate them. Third and fourth playoff?
It's open because both teams played beautiful football. And remember, both teams were basically predators when they won.
True.
So it's going to be open. But I basically will definitely wish. I'm not going to talk football terms because it can go either way.
True.
For the Aussies to win
Because in front of their home crowd.
because of their own
100%. Now, based on that as well, I prefer the Aussies to go
Yes,
through.
I prefer them to basically go through, but it's not going to be easy against the Swedes because the Swedes really didn't easily lost to Spain. You see, it was difficult for Spain to run away with that one.
I get you.
You see,
I get
so
you.
so open, but a heavenly wish for this.
I get you.
Australians.
And the big one on Sunday? I say the Spaniards. You know, I've been behind the Spaniards.
Now, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. They made history a few years ago when they won the Under-20 World Cup.
That's
The English.
The English, yes.
The English. Because the only time that they really won a World Cup was in '66.
With the Soccer World Cup.
Yes,
Against West Germany.
Yeah. They won in '66.
Yes, 1966.
1966. And
Yes.
after 1966 they never won again.
Yes.
So they won, and then they did well in Europe. They did well in Europe. Now, if you look at '66,
Yes.
there was a big write-up.
Of course, everyone knows that. Yeah, every soccer lover knows the history behind the game.
Yeah, there was a big write-up also that can they really do it after 57 years? Because it's now 2023. After 57 years, they never ever
won a major.
yes,
Yeah.
a World Cup.
A World Cup, to be exact.
Yes,
Shoo. So would you say your money is on the English?
yes. My money because you know this is you know you get junior World Cups and senior World Cups. You know, woman is senior
Yeah.
and male is senior.
Yes.
So it will be their first World Cup win again in 57 years. In 57 years. So they've emulated with the juniors. The juniors came and they won, and now the women can do the senior side of football in England. Justice.
Hey, well researched, hey?
and they have the opportunity to do it.
Yeah,
They have the
yeah, yeah,
opportunity
yeah,
to
yeah,
do
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
because,
No, you know your
because
story.
they can basically easily get away with it.
No,
You must
it's-
understand. You must understand one thing, and I'm going to say this before we end about your team. Your team can box very well, but they cannot box dirty.
Oh yeah.
The Spaniards.
They play clean football.
They play clean football and they cannot. They were basically a step ahead because they don't play Route One, and that made them play better than the Swedish
Yes.
in the semi-final. So now you get a situation where they're going to play against the English, which is very how can I say, intimidating,
aggressive as
and
well.
aggressive,
Yeah,
and basically aggressive, and can play Route One, and they can keep the ball also.
Yes.
So that is basically the challenge that they have. But they can rise above themselves if they just up their level a little bit more on the aggressive side. Then they will get away with the World Cup. But as I said, it's a good opportunity for the English to run away with it
and to make their fans proud.
and
after
to
a
make
long
and to
time.
make their fans proud after 57 years.
Yeah, I can imagine. But Joe, once again, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. I think we need now 5 hours for the show. An hour is just not enough. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. And we actually didn't touch on tomorrow, another one. The Springboks are playing against the Welsh at Cardiff. I wish the Springboks all the best. Can you just wish them luck? They are in preparation for the World Cup, the main one. We will cover them in September. We make a promise to all our rugby fans that don't worry, September, we will definitely cover rugby every time. We'll keep you updated, just like we did with the netball, just like we did with the Women's World Cup. We'll definitely keep you guys covered. But for now, Bracho, let's just wish Jack Naliba and his boys all the best of luck. Apparently, Sia Kolisi might start tomorrow. We are not sure, but looking forward to the game, and let's wish them luck. Are you going to be watching?
Yes, I will be watching, and I want to say something. What made me feel good as a South African
Yes.
this week,
Yes.
and I never thought that in rugby this will happen, and it happened.
Which is?
The respect for Sia.
Ah.
The respect for Sia. Sia is black.
True.
Sia is black.
True.
And the respect for him and the joy of having him back, you understand? Because Jacques Ninaba was celebrating him.
Yeah, we spoke about it on
back.
Wednesday.
So
Yes.
I disagree with you. Sia is going to start. Because they say that Sia is going to lead the pack again. And you must know, it's not an easy road, you understand? They never win at Cardiff.
Difficult place to play, ne?
Difficult place
Yes.
to play. Difficult
Yes.
to play the Welsh at Cardiff.
Yes.
So it's going to be something so special, and I just love the way Sia was welcomed back this week by the country, by the coach of the country, and it was just awesome.
Irrespective,
awesome.
people don't see a black captain, they just see a Springbok captain.
Yes,
whether
yes.
it's white or black.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that as well.
And
Bracho.
they're happy.
They look beyond if it's black or white. They just see.
You couldn't actually distinguish his long absence from the game
17 months.
against basically the alarming welcome back. So that's the good thing, and that actually made me feel very good rugby South Africa.
Yeah. I always say that if there's a sport that brings black and white together, it's a rugby. Because when you go to a soccer match, it's mostly us darkies, you
Yes,
know.
yeah.
But a rugby match, it's blacks and whites coming together, not to support a white Springbok team. They just here for that 80 minutes. They just support one sport. They don't care if it's black or white. That's where you see the beauty of this country. You know, this country is not as bad, especially in the sporting side. Rugby unites us all. Let us tomorrow rally against the Springboks. Make sure they do well. But Joe, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for allowing us, for sharing into that encyclopedia, into that dictionary. Thank you for schooling us. Have a beautiful weekend. Your closing words?
Always a joy to be in your space, and we just hope that our plans for the Rugby World Cup is going to work, and we're going to again unite the country with the success that is coming from there.
Definitely. Thank you so much from Misia to Mr. Madi, coming to you live, 97.2 Kofifi FM, where it all began. Thank you so much for joining us at Kofifi Sports. Thank you so much for our listeners at the NNA Sports Show. It's been a great one. We really appreciate you guys. Till we meet again on Monday, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the sports. We close off with a South African classic to kickstart the weekend, to kickstart the mood. You will hear it. What's a classic? Miriam Makeba featured on the track. Well, not featured on the track, but the song was taken from her song. It is Tati Skupu by Bong Muffin. Brajo, take it away.